Okay, are we live? I'm not sure if you just heard me say, let's have some fun, but I was saying that to myself because I thought we weren't live. All right, but we will have some fun. What I was saying is true. Okay, so I'm just kind of gonna get myself ready, set up technologically.
Not sure if you...
Great, okay, so exciting. So I'll just wait a moment for you ladies to find me live here. Usually it takes a little bit. While I wait, and for those of you who are joining us on replay as well, who are seeing this like right off the bat, and I see us streaming into the room here, awesome. So let's just close our eyes and just start to create a little bit more of a surrendered ceremonial space. Breathing through the nose deeply into the belly, and on the exhale, release. Just inviting you sisters who are streaming in now live to join us just by gently closing your eyes. We're just going to start off with a few-minute meditation to center ourselves so we're a little more open, a little more receptive, and a little more connected. I know I was kind of running around a little bit this morning getting things ready and doing some stuff. Maybe you were too. So just allow yourself to breathe, connecting deeply into your womb space. And as we start this ceremony, we call upon the energy of the goddess to channel through us now. The goddess is always with us. She is in everything. But let's open our perceptions now to have a more surrendered acceptance and be more receptive to that beautiful energy that is within us and all around us. And we also call upon the Archangel Jophiel now to guide us in this discussion. Archangel Jophiel is the goddess-like angel of beauty, beautiful thoughts, beautiful energy, harmonious situations. Just allowing her to come in now and connect with us. And just see if you can feel her, if you notice any difference in your energy as we call upon Archangel Jophiel. And if you want to call her name out loud wherever you are, you can just say, Archangel Jophiel, thank you for coming to me now. I invite you into my life, and I invite you into this ceremony. Awesome. And as we prepare to begin this ceremony, I'm just going to get you to feel into your womb space, your root chakra, and envision tree roots coming down from your root, down through your legs, down through the earth below you. And start to feel the support of the mother under you as you bury your roots deeper and deeper into the soil, just through your visualization and intention. Awesome. And just burying those roots deeper, deeper, deeper into the earth. So deeply that you're connecting now to the very center of the planet. The very center of the planet. And this beautiful center of the planet has a ruby red energy. And just allow your roots to plug into that ruby red energy and allow your roots to drink up that red frequency. Connecting you deeply to the mother, connecting you deeply to the earth, and grounding you to be more present in this experience. We call upon all of our spirit guides and our angels, of everyone who is watching either live on replay, to join us. We call upon the Archangel Michael to create a beautiful, safe space for us to gather in our etheric circle and in our etheric temple now, cleansing all the vibrations so that we are aligned with truth and we have open hearts. Thank you. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Awesome. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of a smudge and blessing before we start discussing and chatting what we're talking about. I see a couple comments coming up already that I'm excited to read. So if you are joining us live, you'll notice, hopefully you see that there's a chat window to your right, and I will definitely be reading and connecting with your comments so we can have a little bit of an interactive discussion. And if you're on a replay, you can always come to the Facebook group Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon to share your insights, etc., etc. So this is Palo Santo. Probably most of you are familiar with this by now because I always start ceremonies with it. But in case you're new to this is a wood from a tree from South America, and it translates literally Palo Santo into holy wood. And it's very amazing for energy clearing. It's very, very powerful. So I'm just going to send this smoke to you etherically, and just breathe that in. Just trust that this smoke can actually go through the ethers and touch your frequency as well. Just bathe yourself in that beautiful smoke. Ooh. Let me see if it'll focus on the smoke. No, don't think so. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to wave this here. This is such a beautiful sacred tool that I found on a beach near me a couple of years ago. Okay, so let's go check out what you ladies are saying as we connect. Okay, Blue Raven says hello. Hi, love. Christy says hello. Kiwich Kara says, yep, I had to refresh. Rita, the goddess I'm mostly connected to when you asked, was Hestia of the heart. Your full moon meditation in Cancer explained why. Thanks for everything. And Dora says hi. So welcome, lovely ladies. Okay, so basically today we are talking about something that I am actually very fascinated with. I'm very interested in. And this is the topic of beauty and true beauty. So I don't know about you. I just want you to reflect on your relationship with beauty and what messaging that you received about beauty growing up. Because as so beautifully vibrationally potent and magical and sacred beauty is, it's really gotten dismantled, and just not beauty itself, but the perception of beauty in our culture is like really skewed. And I know that you know this. For me, when I look around and I look into, you know, how I was raised and what messages I was receiving when I was younger about beauty, there's two kind of energies that I received, and I included this in one of the emails, and you might have read this. Basically, there was the energy of like, beauty is what you need to become. You need to grow into like beauty, you know, as a child. You need to be this beautiful model, like these covers of the magazines, and that's where your worth is going to come from, and that's when the boys are going to pay attention to you, and that's when, you know, the girls are going to want to be like you, and that's where your power is going to come from. So, you know, focus on beauty and et cetera, et cetera. And then there was the other side of it that was like, oh, beauty is super superficial. Like, if you're smart and if you're like, you know, a good person, like, you don't care about beauty. Like, you might as well just like, you know, not care about like any of that. And I remember when I started waking up and I started meditating and things like this, my boyfriend at the time was on the other end of that. Like, he would often ask me when we first started dating, he's like, why do you wear makeup? Like, you don't need to wear makeup. And he would just like really like, no, like being like totally natural all the time. You know, his you know, that's where he was coming from, like, kind of that other end of the scale. And then I remember like I just totally stopped like taking care of myself in that kind of like goddess way. I was like, oh yeah, like I guess I'm not supposed to, like, that's not spiritual. Like, it's not spiritual to care about, you know, how I look. So I like even though I don't brush my hair very often these days, like I totally stopped brushing my hair, and like I just like wasn't interested in, you know, makeup and things like this, which was really awesome and probably really healing for me in some ways. But then through the course of my journey, I've really come to realize that beauty is a frequency. Beauty has nothing to do with what the whole culture of, you know, this Western culture thinks that beauty is. Beauty is a frequency. And if you go to like, you know, for me, like I love like going to Europe and seeing the beautiful architecture and how much like tenderness and care people can put in their creations and let beauty flow through them and really celebrate it. And to me, like when I'm walking around the streets of like old Europe, and you know, if you've ever been, and maybe you haven't, but you know, like the cobbled streets and the beautiful, like I said, the architecture and just attention to detail, I feel better. I feel like people care and like, you know, more supported, I guess you could say. Rita says, as one of 5 kids, we learned that beauty took more time and money than we had. So our hair was kept short and so forth. Getting things done was taught as more important than beauty. Yeah, interesting. So great reflections here. So you can kind of like, you know, start to ask yourself, how was I raised? You know, what are my personal, you know, perceptions about beauty? So yeah, so back to that Europe example. And then like I live in Canada personally, and I go around and there's like a lot of square boxes for buildings that are just like put up really, really quickly. And there's no attention to detail. There's no celebration of beauty there. And when I walk around, sometimes and look at some of the buildings, it actually makes me feel like not like depressed, but like kind of just like, oh, like nobody cares, like nobody's tending their space, et cetera, et cetera. So beauty comes in a lot of different forms, but at the end of the day, really what I've learned is beauty is a resonance. What beauty actually is, to me, through my lensing, is life force energy, especially when life force energy meets self-love. That's like beauty. And like self-love, you could think about self-love as life force energy. So it really depends on, how you conceptualize that. But beauty literally is life force energy. Like, okay, so basically, I personally, growing up, just like the rest of us, had issues with my own looks, with my own appearance, and how I felt. And really what we're talking about in this discussion is how we feel. I'm not really that interested in helping us to just be like, okay, the looks are going to come from the internal place. This discussion is not about how we can look beautiful. This discussion is about how we can feel beautiful, how we can own our beauty as connected to the universe, how we can understand that beauty and magnetism and attraction is simply life force energy playing around. And when we celebrate life force energy, when we celebrate our lives, and when we celebrate the love that we have for ourselves, and we go dancing or we go playing, we honor and we bring in the essence of beauty, because, right, beauty is a resonance. And then what happens is it usually comes out like the face, or it comes out the eyes, or it comes out the smile, or we feel better. So we gravitate, the clothes and the beautiful adornments that are going to help us really display and feel into that are just going to be attracted to us. And that was just like a fun part of it. So yeah, basically I had my own issues with my looks, just like everyone else, and how I felt about myself. Starting with like 10, maybe like 9, like watching like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen be like so fucking cute and like always have like the perfect little braids. I was like, I want to be like them. I want to be cute like them. And right, that's an early conditioning of, you are so beautiful, so I have to be like you in order to be beautiful, rather than, what the goddess teaches us is, if you see beauty in another, celebrate that, because now you're just on the frequency of beauty, and that beauty that you see is your own beauty. And as you tune into that frequency, you're going to have a better understanding of your own unique frequency, because we're all flowers, and maybe those, what I wish someone told me was, yeah, Mary-Kate and Ashley might be like a couple beautiful roses, maybe a pink rose and a red rose, and here I am being like a Gerber daisy, or like an orchid or something like this. And who's to say which one is more beautiful? You can't. Maybe people have different preferences of what flowers they like more, but really at the end of the day, like if you're a sane person, you're like, oh my God, flowers are so beautiful. And actually flowers are even more beautiful when they're put together. So we actually complement each other's beauty, and we bring each other more beauty by being around each other and celebrating each other's beauty. So it's a really healthy way to look at it. But like I said, when I was 9, 10, 11, no one had taught me that. I just was like, okay, I got to do my hair like them and whatever. And, then growing up more and more and getting into high school and having all those like brand name clothes, like they weren't even cute. I look back at those brand name clothes that everyone was paying like $100, $200 for like a sweater, and it was like the cool thing to have. And I'm like, that was ugly. Sorry, but that's not even cute. Like, I don't know what you guys are thinking. Maybe some of you are laughing, looking back at your high school trends, being like, yeah, like, I should have just stuck to my, like, what I love. And yeah, so for me, I remember a big thing for me was my skin. I had acne growing up, and it wasn't really that bad, but when you're, a 16-year-old girl, a couple pimples, like, just, take over, and they're like, oh my God, my whole face, and blah, blah, blah. And so I really struggled with my self-esteem in connection with acne for a long time, or what felt like a long time. And for me, I wasn't one of those people that really dealt with weight as my issues with self-esteem. It was always my skin. That was my issue. And I also just compared myself a lot to other girls and other women. And I had as I'm sure you did too, and I had different standards of what I thought was beautiful, and different people that I knew, in high school or my friend groups that I thought were really, really beautiful. And I wanted to look like them, but I just didn't. I remember this beautiful girl. She was like darker skin, darker haired, and I just thought that was so beautiful. And I said, oh, I have my white skin and I'm pale and it's like not as cute, and blah blah blah. It's just like, oh my goodness. So thankfully I found the goddess path, because we got to stop that nonsense. Yeah, I'm just trying to feel into what parts of the story I want to share. Yeah, I just remember feeling, you know, my cat is knocking at the window. Sorry, one second. My cat literally knocks. She's like, I need to come tell us. Okay. Okay. Okay, cat break. Yeah, if any of you need a cat break, you know, go for it. I don't know what that would be if you don't have a cat, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, I just remember, like, I remember at one point, like, I didn't even want to go out. Like, I was in university, and I felt like so like ugly. Like, I just felt so just like I just remember this energy inside of me. I just felt like just gross. I remember feeling gross because of my skin, or what I thought was because of my skin, but really I was just using that as a scapegoat for deeper issues, which we can talk about in a second. Yeah, and I just remember not even going out with my friends one night, and they were all going to the bar and going out dancing and stuff, and I was like, I can't go because I'm like, I feel too gross, like, I just can't even let anyone see. I had like a really big pit bull at the time. And I just like, I have compassion for that girl because I just like, girl, like, I'm so excited. It's fine. And it was all well and dandy because I found what I needed to find. But yeah, that's sad, you know, when you feel gross and you feel like you're not going to be, you know, feeling okay about being out and about. So that's interesting, right? So, you know, I'm not coming to you from a story of like, yeah, I always felt beautiful and I always had a good relationship with my looks and with how I felt, with my sexuality. Like, it wasn't the case at all. I remember like I got a lot of like if a guy like was interested in me or was looking at me, I remember like then I would feel validated for about 5 minutes and feel beautiful for about 5 minutes, and then that would quickly wear off. I remember one time I was traveling in Costa Rica, and right, I don't know, I have this thing about like I feel like darker people are like so beautiful. So I was going in, you know, this Latina culture and walking around, and I just remember like none of the guys were really like looking at me like they did in Canada. Like, I don't know, they're like, this is just what I felt, and it affected my self-esteem, and I was like, why are none of the guys looking at me like? Like, so yeah, I just want to like share my story in the sense that I know you can probably relate to different aspects of that, and just know that that's like a part of our like what our culture has created for us, really, and superimposed on us of like, this is where beauty comes from. It's external. You know, the more, you know, men that find you attractive, the more beautiful you are, the more you know, are connected with society standards of beauty, then you are beautiful, right? And that makes us feel like shit, does it not? Like, if you just want to, depending on where you're at, you might be in that zone right now, or you might be remembering back to when you were in that zone, but it probably made you feel, whether it's now or before, like shit if you're trying to conform to our society standards of beauty, right? And then with my awakening, and I don't really have a fully fluid story of how I woke up to, I feel like, what true beauty was. I think it was just like an unfolding. So I had my awakening and I started meditating and things like this, and where I went to the other side and I was like, I don't care about beauty, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even brush my hair. Like, I don't care. And then my partner and I broke up, which was a good thing. And that was almost 4 years ago now, hard to believe. And yeah, and then I just kind of had this experience where I was kind of free. I was kind of like, I was awake and I was single, so I could be whatever, do whatever, you know, wasn't feeling like I needed to conform to anyone's standards, and really could just kind of uncover what was true for me, what was true for me sexually, what I wanted to do, if I wanted to curl my hair and wear mascara, if I wanted to throw on a sweatshirt. Like, you know, I just felt, you know, more free, and I moved into nature and things like this. So as I started spending more time with nature and more time with questioning, you know, different aspects of my sexuality, I feel like I woke up to just this part of myself that was just like self-love, you know, and that happened through meditation and connection. And I'm still working on this very, very, very much so. I think I will be for the rest of my life. And I'm sure you can probably relate to that, but, you know, starting to uncover deeper aspects of self-love. And what I found was, as I started to transmute shame that I was carrying, shame around sexuality, shame around anything that really came up, as I started to investigate, you know, where those gross feelings were like living in my belly and things like this, and what kind of energy was associated with them. And I went through meditation processes to transmute that shame. And we're probably going to get into a meditation in this ceremony to help us transmute this. Those feelings of grossness, of I don't feel good, I don't feel cute, just kind of left, because I was transmuting the shame that was at the root of those feelings. And as I continued this journey, and like I said, spending more time in nature and just being in the resonance of beauty in its true form, nature is so beautiful, and just really opening up to that and letting that in. And as I started to speak my truth more, and as I started to express myself more, and as I started to really honor the earth more and connect, my food choices with my love of the earth and my love of my body, and I started to eat all organic, and I became a vegetarian, and I really aligned my life and my lifestyle with what was true in my heart, I, noticed and realized over the course of years of that process that I was starting to feel really, really beautiful. And it wasn't because anyone was looking at me, although definitely, people were noticing that my energy was changing. But I was reclaiming my sexuality. I was transmuting shame. I was, like I said, connecting more deeply with my authenticity, my self-expression. And where I'm at now is I feel more beautiful and I guess like more sexy than I've ever felt in my life. And it's like I constantly feel more and more beautiful as the days go by. Like I literally look in the mirror and just look at myself and I go, wow, like you're so beautiful. And what I'm looking at is my soul and my energy and my life force energy. And I'm connecting with the goddess within me. And then I go out and I have fun and I dress myself with so much love and so much fun. And I dress what's true for me. Some people are like, that's a weird outfit. I'm like, yes. And I do it for me. And yes, I definitely have noticed that a lot of more people are also attracted to me and attracted to my energy. And I don't say this to brag at all. I feel like you feel like where I'm coming from. It's just kind of like something that I'm really excited by, that we can actually transmute our pain and our shame, work internally, and actually feel beautiful. What's important for me is that I feel beautiful. Whether someone's looking at me or not, I feel like I don't really care at this point. Maybe if it's like the guy that I think is really cute, that I might care. But other than that, I don't really care. And for me, I just like to go out and I like to dance and I like to express myself and I like to be crazy. And what I like to do also is see the beauty in all these other women. And I go out, in the world and I go, wow, she's so beautiful. And wow, I love her outfit. And wow, what a beautiful heart that girl has. And oh my God, I love her hair. And I also celebrate the beauty in other women, which puts me in the resonance and that flow of beauty. And then I can feel that and be excited about it. Kiwich Kara says, sometimes it can be nice to experience both ends of the spectrum before coming to that happy, healthy medium. Yes, caring too much, caring not enough, and finding that right space for us. Thanks for that, Kara. So, I just invite you to feel into where that sits with you. And if you're triggered by any of this, if you feel like, oh, it's, if you still have that energy coming up, like, no, it's so stupid to be beautiful or this, what I want you to, or you're excited about it, what I want you to really feel into again and invite you to, understand or open up to is that beauty is life force energy. So when I'm feeling more beautiful, all that's really happening is that I am allowing more life force energy and more spirit through me. Because spirit is loves itself. Spirit's like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. Have you seen Mother Earth? Have you seen those beautiful, have you gone traveling to those places or seen pictures of these incredible majestic mountains and these incredible waterfalls and the beautiful ocean and the animals and how cute they are? Beauty is the language of the universe. Beauty is everywhere. And also, if you think about it, my looks didn't really change so much as I'm starting to feel more beautiful, right? My face didn't really change a lot. It wasn't that anything really changed externally. It was that my energy and my perception changed, which is everything. I lost my train of thought. I was about to tell you something else. Oh yeah, have you ever seen those people and you're or whether it's a guy or a girl or whoever you're attracted to, but you see them and you're or even if it's just a girl and they're a friend, you see them and their face is really kind of weird. They're not really societally beautiful, let's say, but there's something about them where you're beautiful, you're just attracted and you're pulled to that. That's their energy. That's them owning themselves. That's them owning their confidence. And that is what I want you to like really understand. It's not there yet. When I'm connecting with the energy of you ladies watching, we're not quite there yet of understanding that beauty is totally an inside energetic frequency. And that if you connect to that frequency that is your birthright, that channels through you every single day, if you open to that, you will feel beautiful. I don't care how much weight you have on or how many pimples you have or this or this. You will feel beautiful if you allow the resonance of beauty through you. What is the biggest block to this allowing of this resonance is shame. Is shame around sexuality, shame around your choices, and shame around who you are. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk and we're going to work through meditation on how to transmute and clear that shame so you can allow the resonance of the beauty, of beauty through you. And that is so important. Amanda says it's awesome to find your happy medium and also accept our off days too. And accepting your off days where you don't feel so great or you don't feel so cute is really important, because that means that your shame is kind of coming up. And that's an awesome opportunity for you to say, hey, my shame is coming up. Let's heal it. Let's breathe into it. Let's love it. Let's, say a prayer that Spirit's going to transmute that. And realize when you're feeling kind of off about your body, that's a communication. You don't just want to like shove that away and be like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Let's go on with my day. If you're feeling off about your body and if you're feeling not beautiful or gross, that is your call out to say, let's do deeper work. Where can I transmute this shame? How can I treat my body better? What if that energy of you feeling gross and off is because you're eating processed shit and factory farmed animals and really bad energy that is not in alignment with your soul, and your soul is speaking through these lower emotions to get your attention? Hey, girl, that's not the way, right? We're going to talk about that and more in a second here. Very, very important. Okay, this is my friend Becca, who is beautiful, but people comment they love it when her face turns red. Love it. Okay, just reading a couple of these comments here. Okay, great. So this is what I'm really passionate about something. Before we get into meditation, I want to connect with you all about this. Because, so what we're also doing in our culture is we're not connecting our sense of beauty and empowerment to our daily choices and if they are in alignment, right? We know that beauty now is life force energy. It's the energy of the universe. It's the energy of source energy moving through us. That is where beauty comes from. That's how we awaken to our beauty. We know that we block this energy when we have shame that we have not processed, and it blocks that life force energy, especially in our sacral chakras. So we end up feeling gross or not so great. What's also important for us to know is that in this, we're intending to align with source energy so we can feel more beautiful. Yes. So what does alignment mean? Well, we are aligning with our truths. Okay. So if, I'm aware of the, kind of tribe that I attract, right? So your truth is probably that you love animals, that you love the earth, that you love love, that you love people at the end of the day, and you love souls. So I want you to think about this. If you're going out and you're buying your clothes from the mall and you're not thinking about it and you're putting them on and you're trying to feel beautiful, your subconscious by this time is well aware that those clothes were made probably in China in a factory that doesn't treat their employees very well, with cottons and dyes that are actually polluting the planet, made with toxic dyes and pesticides. So your subconscious is well aware of this, but your conscious mind is not picking up on that yet. Because we need to go deeper, right, on a daily basis. So your subconscious is aware that new sweater that you just got, you're like, oh, this is going to help me feel beautiful. Your subconscious is like, wow, this came from a really not beautiful place, and it knows that. So when you put it on, it doesn't matter. Your subconscious is the most powerful part of you at this point, other than source energy, but you know what I mean? Like subconscious is basically rules the show, whether we're aware of it or not. How are we going to feel beautiful? Okay. So here are your other options. If you're like, oh my God, I didn't really think about that. Clothing swaps. Get together with your girlfriends and do some clothing swaps and have some eco-friendly opportunities to switch, etc. Go to the what's it called, thrift store. This is where I get all my liquor. This is from a clothing swap. Actually, this was just given to me by a friend. This was given to me by a friend. This ribbon that I put together this necklace on was like a part of like a gift package that I got, and I just reused the ribbon. Like this bracelet was, I think, gifted to me. Just like literally everything that I wear is, and I'm not saying that this is like the best, but from an environmental standpoint and from a consciousness standpoint is really important for me, at least. That, yeah, I look around and I look at my clothes and I'm like, these are in alignment with my values. Where I'm getting my clothes is in alignment with my values, right? And we talked about beauty being in alignment and allowing the flow to flow through us, right? So when I'm in alignment, when I look at my closet, I'm looking up because my closet is right in front of me. I feel in alignment. So that means that I'm going to feel more beautiful. If my closet was, and also if you want to think about resonance, if my closet was like all these clothes from China, brand new, toxic dyes wafting in the air, I really would not feel very cute in them, I have to tell you. And I've done that before. I've like tried things on, like there's no life force. There's no true beauty of like uniqueness and loving of the imperfections and honoring that in a factory that just mass produces the same article over and over and over again, and the workers have no passion, and et cetera, et cetera. When something is recycled, so clothing swaps and thrift stores, when something is recycled, it takes on a new energy and it's an alignment. Okay. Amanda says, yes, been doing my best to buy USA made and used clothing, so at least less wasted clothes. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to get into this next. Amanda says, I still struggle at times about makeup because I want it, but then dude, chemicals galore. Why do I need it? Awesome. I am a total earth-friendly makeup lover. I make a lot of my own makeup myself at this point, so we can talk about that in a second. Cute Witch Kara says, I love thrift stores and many gifts from friends from their old things. Awesome. And yeah, the thing about thrift stores is you go to thrift stores and you find the cute, like the most unique things that no one else has, no one else is kind of really wearing, and you go and it's like, it's so fun. And you want to think about this is like, what do you like? Do you like dressing like a fairy like me? I love dressing like a fairy and an elf. Like that's totally me. Do you like dressing like a goth witch? Do you like dressing like just like you love sports? You actually genuinely just love sports and you feel great when you're comfy outfits. Like what do you like a Middle Eastern belly dancer? Like do you like dressing like that? Like what do you love the energy of? What do you love dressing of? Like what do you, if you just shook off all societal expectations about what you were supposed to wear, what would you wear? What would you get excited about? Would you be wearing like fishnets, or would you be wearing like I don't know, like I really don't know, just something weird or something colorful? Just tune in with yourself right now and be like, what's the energy like when maybe like movies that you watch and you love the medieval costumes and the way the priestesses dress, more presence to their outfits and more like just whatever. Like, I just want you to think about, what do I genuinely want to dress like? And go out into the thrift stores or clothing shops and get some of those clothes and start dressing like that, or go on Etsy and purchase from people that have handmade these articles and have some fun, because it's really fun to adorn ourselves, right? First, we've got to come from that place of self-love and releasing shame, because if we've got a ton of shame, we're just not even going to be able to attract the type of clothes that we want to wear. I realized that, a few years ago. If I feel beautiful from within, I can actually attract the clothes, and I can attract the jewelry, and I can attract the makeup. That's just more fun for me and more resonance for me. But if I'm not feeling beautiful and I'm carrying shame, it's really hard for me to even find clothes that work for me. It's really hard for me to even find clothes that I like, because my resonance isn't there. So that's why it's an inner job. Beauty is an inner job. It's an inner resonance. Okay, Kara's talking about cleansing clothes energetically. I don't really do that too much. Sometimes I'll put Palo Santo and stream it through my closet. Okay, awesome. So that's really, really important to me. And we, sisters, we are the light workers. If we don't pay attention to where our clothes come from and the chain of events that come before that, nobody else is going to. Like, Donald Trump doesn't care. Like, if you get what I'm saying with that, like, we are the ones that are going to change this planet. So if we don't like that people are being mistreated in factories across China and we're using crazy amount of fossil fuels to get those clothes over to us, and that's not in alignment with who we are. We are the ones that need to change that. And the beautiful thing about this is I used to spend hundreds of dollars every month on clothes and makeup, and now I spend like, I don't know, like $5 a month, if that, you know, maybe like, I'm going on Etsy these days, actually, that's more fun. I just spent like $100 on sandals. They're handmade and vegan. That was exciting. But you know what I mean? Like, you also have more money for the important, you know, stuff. Like, seriously, you'll have money to buy that organic food that's going to make you feel better and therefore more beautiful. Okay, so next topic. So we want to think about what we're eating, what we're putting in our bodies too. So remember, beauty is coming from our alignment with our source energy. We feel beautiful when we are in alignment with our source energy. We can cut off our alignment or our perception of alignment with source energy when we make choices that are out of alignment with our truths. So if you are an animal lover like me, are you aware of the factory farming industry? I'm sure you are by now. Are you aware, and you know, this might, if some of you ladies are still eating this, you might go, don't feel shame about this. If you can, just allow yourself to get real, call a spade a spade. Are you eating the steak, the cows, the chicken that have come from factory farming, that have been severely mistreated, in fact, abused, and not treated as sacred beings at all, and then just gone through a slaughterhouse and then ended up on your plate? And guess what? Those pieces of meat have in them. They've got antibiotics in them, and they've got fake color in them, because meat, when it like hits air, turns this browny color. And in order to like make meat attractive to people in the supermarket, they'll inject it with red dyes. And this is the same for a lot of salmon too. Actually, I'm not going to read comments yet because I'm kind of on a tangent. So if you are ingesting this energy of pain into your body, of an animal's pain, you are not going to feel very beautiful, because you're totally out of alignment with what your truth knows, that you honor all beings, that you feel that all beings are sacred. And if it is your desire to continue eating meat, that is okay. But are you making sure to get it from somewhere that is honoring of the animals, like a beautiful open farm that maybe you've actually visited yourself, or you know, you went online and you've done some research, or you went to the health food store and you talked to the person that owns it and said, where is the best meat, you know, the best quality meat, the best treated animals that you have? That is so important, and I'm not willing to budge on this at all. You need to stop eating factory farmed meat completely if you are going to be in alignment with your source energy self, and if you're going to be feeling as beautiful as you can, right? Because our subconscious knows what's actually going on, and every time we ingest the pain of those animals and just go, oh, another meal, we are ingesting shame, and we are ingesting what is out of alignment with ourselves. So how are we going to feel beautiful, right? We can have the cutest clothes ever, and we can have the best makeup ever, and we're still going to feel kind of lethargic and kind of gross, right? So that's an invitation. What are you eating? And for me, I would like to take this one step further. I eat all organic, and I make sure that my food does not have pesticides and chemicals on it, because I know that pesticides go down the drain. Pesticides go down the rivers and end up in our oceans and really kill a lot of our beautiful life forms in our oceans. You can do research into this, and I'll be talking more about this as the days and weeks go on with Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon, that pesticides are really, really bad for our oceans, and they're also really, really bad for humans in general. Even the workers that are spraying them get all sorts of nasty diseases. So that is not alignment with why I'm here. That is not in alignment with me showing up for Mama Gaia and me being of service to her. So if I'm eating lots of food that has pesticides and things like this on it, my subconscious knows that that's out of alignment. It doesn't care what my mind says. I can't afford it and blah, blah, blah. This is really not your truth. And the more that we can release those old stories is, you know, if you stop, you know, buying like the, you know, $200 of clothes a month, then you can afford to eat organic. You know what I mean? Like, there's always ways. You're worthy enough to eat organic. So as I eat really good, let's focus on what we want. Really good, awesome, life force energy, organic food. If you're going to eat meat, eat really high quality meat. If you're not eating meat, then awesome, lots of veggies. Do your research, lots of proteins that are good, and make sure you know what you need. Maybe amp up some superfoods, some spirulina, or some, chaga in there to really bring your system into balance and give it the life force energy it needs. Now I'm vibrating with life force energy. Now I'm in alignment because my dietary choices are in alignment with what my heart knows to be true. Now I can vibrate with the alignment of source energy, and now I can truly feel beautiful, okay? So this is really, really important. Okay. Reading a couple of the comments. Dora says, been vegetarian for almost 15 years. I want to become vegan, but still didn't make the step. I feel bad when I think about the chicken and the farms and their baby cows when I eat eggs and dairy. Cute Witch Kara says, do a little at a time. I went vegetarian all at once and then slowly cut out animal byproducts as I found good replacement. So awesome. Good to know that you ladies are already on this page. I know some of you this might be new for, and I just want to encourage you to, rather than go to the place of shame if you're not on this wavelength, go to the place of inspiration of, oh, this is a way that I can be more in alignment with my truth. Oh, this is a way that I can be more in alignment with myself. And if you are worried about affording organic food, what you can do is you can ask your angels for help. You can say, angels, please guide me to have the funds, have the confidence, have the resources to purchase organic food. Guide me, show me the way. And you can do a little bit at a time. You can decide that all your fruit this week is going to be organic and you're going to buy all the other stuff that you normally do. And then next week you're going to make another shift or whatever it is, right? Okay, so I'm just going to have a little cup of tea here. There's so much that I could talk about beauty. I think I'm going to create a little mini course around beauty because I'm really passionate about it. Because it feels really awesome to feel beautiful, because when you feel beautiful, you feel connected to the wellstream of life, right? And I want to encourage you again to release any and all thoughts or energy that you have around beauty being superficial and not something that is important. Beauty is important. Beauty is important. That you feel beautiful, that is important. That is important to me, that you feel beautiful, that you love your body. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if other people think you're beautiful or not. I'm sure some people think that I'm really weird looking. I don't care. What I care is that you feel beautiful, that you wake up in the morning and you have that sense of self-love in your belly. That's what I care about. And when we're, right, beauty is the resonance of the universe. Beauty is another word for life force energy. Beauty is another word for self-love. Beauty is another word for the resonance of appreciation. So it is important that we feel beautiful, because that's the energy that we want to carry in our sacred life missions. And when we feel beautiful, we're attracting beautiful things to us. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple more things before we get into meditation. One of them, let's make just a little segue here, and then we're going to talk about earth-friendly beauty in a moment. And I'll let you know what I use, because I know we had a comment about, oh, I don't know if I want to wear makeup because, I'm worried about the chemicals and stuff, which is a really, really good point. So another thing about beauty, right, is it's our aura. It's the energy that's in our aura. So if we are thinking beautiful thoughts about ourselves or others, and Archangel Jophiel is really awesome to help us to do this. And dudes and dudettes, we are going to have, we're going to fall off this so many times and come back on and fall off and come back on. Thoughts are, a big thing. Apparently we have 70,000 thoughts in a day. So, but if we're thinking beautiful thoughts, if we're thinking, oh, I'm excited that it's sunny outside, and oh, I'm glad that this is happening, or yeah, girl, I love you today, or I love my friends, or, oh, this food is awesome. That's resonant with beauty, and that's going to be in our aura. But if we're thinking oh, that girl sucks, oh, such a bitch, or fuck that guy, and oh yeah, he deserves it, and all these mean things, and that's going to be in our aura. So when we're talking about beauty, we're also talking about magnetism and attractive power. So if we are having an aura of beauty because we're thinking beautiful thoughts, now our aura is more open to receive that which we want to be a vibrational match for. So the things that you want in your life that you feel are going to feel really good to you, how you're going to attract them using your attraction power, your magnetism, your beauty on this new frequency that we understand beauty, is going to be having that aura that's of resonance to that which you want to call in. So if you're thinking, feeling beautiful thoughts, et cetera, then you are going to have a much easier time calling in that which you desire into your life. That new job, those new friends, et cetera, et cetera. If you're feeling, like you're gonna create an aura of, connection and well-being and life force energy. You're gonna now be able to be a vibrational match for that. And believe me when I say, and Arnie mentioned this, we fall off this, we have some thoughts, and we can just ask Archangel Jophiel, and we can ask Spirit, or we can ask the Goddess, please bring my thoughts, but let's, in this meditation or in this discussion and ceremony, let's use Archangel Jophiel to help to create new thoughts. So Archangel Jophiel, thank you for helping all of us to have beautiful thoughts about ourselves and about one another. And thank you, Archangel Jophiel, for also just doing a beautiful cleansing of any shame that's coming up right now within this tribe, and help us to see ourselves with beauty and to forgive ourselves and to love ourselves and to love one another and to resonate with beauty. Anything in the way of that, Spirit, please clear, transmute, and heal this across all time, dimension, space, reality. So we can also work with our spiritual practice, right, and our prayers to create, shifts. Okay. So beauty is necessarily, you keep us feeling alive and just observing around us too. But my question is, what if you literally don't match people around you? I'm still nice and working on not carrying it so much. I just know, hey, we're all one, but do we have to get along with everyone? Okay, so Amanda, there's a big difference between being nice and being authentic. So you don't have to cover up your feelings of this is where the shame comes from. If you're carrying shame, if you're carrying energy that is not of service to your truth, then you're going to be resonating with that energy for other people. Whatever you're calling into your field, you have called in because you're vibrating in that way. So if you're calling people into your field that you don't really like very much, or they're triggering you, that is because you are offering some of that vibrational resonance out into the universe. So what you need to do is you need to go back inside, sit on your meditation pillow, go for a walk in nature, do yoga, whatever tools you have, to come back to a place where you're offering a different vibrational resonance. So this is why the spiritual path is so important. And this is not easy. This is not just a simple, oh, I just need to meditate for 5 minutes and I'm good. This is the whole path. This is our life's work to transmute the energy that we carry that is of hatred, or that is of shame, or that is of a lack of love, and to bring in through prayer, through meditation, like I said, through nature, through our connection with whatever works for us, to transmute that, because that energy is not our truth. And when we surrender to our truth is love. And this is a work in progress. And if you are having issues with people in your life, you are not the only one, hands up, myself included. But take your empowerment back. You don't need to be nice to them. You need to just say, hey, thanks for showing me where I'm vibrating at. I'm going to go back to the meditation pillow and recalibrate my vibration. So I'm offering a different vibrational resonance that makes me a little happier, and then is going to call a little more sparkly beings into my life. So if you're seeing things show up in your field that you don't like, go back here and again, ask yourself the question, where are my vibrations at? And how can I shift these vibrations to be more surrendered to love? And use prayer to help you. Okay. Dora has a good point. I think not really all get along, but accept each other. Yeah, so we might have differing points, so we might, butt heads with people, but if we're willing to accept them and not try to change them, that's going to be huge. Amanda says, what about coworkers? I haven't chosen them. Amanda, yes, you have. On a vibrational level, you have chosen every single person that has shown up in your field. You have chosen every single thing. And even if your ego is not willing to get on that train, it is source, truth, reality. So honor the medicine of empowerment in that message. We, myself included, have chosen every single thing that shows up in our field, okay? And what you can do is you can Google on YouTube Abraham Hicks, which I'm really big on right now, to have a deeper understanding of that, right? So if you're vibrating at a different place, it's going to be natural for you. It's going to be a domino effect that things are going to shift, that coworker decides to leave, that you get an idea and you get a new job, that you get placed into a new department where you're going to have new people around you. It all starts with your vibration. If we let the external world dictate our internal conditions, we are a prisoner of our reality. I'll say that again. If we let our external conditions create our internal reality, then we are a prisoner. If we honor that we create our external reality based on our internal energy, then we are free. That is our truth. And we have come back to the realization of our source level empowerment. Okay. Yeah, Amanda says, my ego doesn't like that, being on that train every day. QH Kara says, in accepting who people are too, we don't have to accept if their treatment of us is toxic. Yes, thank you for making that very important distinction. Sometimes it just means, okay, that's your journey, this is my journey, right? So yeah, if we have toxic people, we're kind of like, this is all on the same wavelength though. So we'll get into this because it is important discussion. If we have people showing up in our field and they're abusing us, well, what we need to do is, where am I abusing myself? Where am I not liking myself? Where am I going home and saying, oh, you fucked up about that, or you did that? Where am I holding shame and old stories that when my mother, when I was 5, said this to me, and I'm holding that in my body and I'm resonating with that subconsciously, even though I don't fully am aware of it, right? So yeah, absolutely say, hey, no, I'm not really stoked with that abuse, and get that out. But remember, that abuse is going to come right back around in a different form through a different person if you don't address the internal condition that created it in the first place. Have you noticed that sometimes when you go and you try to make changes in your life and you realize that you have toxic people in your life, or you have a relationship pattern and you're trying to stop it, or a career thing that you're trying to stop, that the same pattern shows up over and over again, even though you've cut that person out of your life, or even though you've left that job? That's because the internal condition has not been shifted. Okay, awesome. And yeah, so, we can use our vibrational reflections, and we can actually, this takes practice. We're not going to get this all the time, but we can actually shift to gratitude for that person. Hey, thank you for showing me where my vibration is at right now. Thank you for being the messenger. And when something shows up in your field that you're not really jamming with, you can say, thank you for showing me where I'm at right now, where I'm vibrating with. I'm gonna change that. Thanks. You really helped me to pivot my journey, and then start focusing on what you want. Okay. So that, that's all a part of beauty, right? Because if we are in a space of resistance and we're going, no, get away, hey, go, I hate you, you're so annoying. That's not a very beautiful resonant thought pattern, is it? No. And you're not going to be very attractive to the people around you because you're, or yourself, right? So this is totally, on the vibe of beauty. If we are like, hey, okay, yeah, I'm just going to honor that I did feel that you're annoying, sure. But thank you for showing me where my vibrational resonance is at. Okay, now let's tune in. Am I irritated right now? What's going on? Oh, I just uncovered, yeah, actually, I think I am a little irritated. Maybe I'll go out for a 5-minute walk in nature and just take some deep breaths and clear that, and ask Spirit to transmute any pain that I'm going through, so that I can get back on that kind of high vibe or wholeness energy that I really want to be at. And you know what? Maybe I'm just going to go home after this and take some self-care time. I don't really feel like being around people right now. So thanks for showing that to me. And I'm just going to, do my thing and get myself into a different space so I can attract something that's a little bit better and more fitting for me, right? And then, that same person comes back the next day and you've changed your internal vibration, and they're not annoying to you. They're actually really inspiring to you. Funny how that works. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk about before we get into a little meditation here, I cannot believe it's 1:55. I told you I have a lot of things to say. We're going to have a little mini series at some point this year on beauty. Makeup. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to get my makeup. Should have brought it with me, but. All right, y'all, let's get into the fun, girly stuff. Okay, so we talked about eating, we talked about clothes. We want to make sure that what we're adorning ourselves with, and how we're treating ourselves is in alignment with our values, right? So if we're going out to the pharmacy and we're getting that mascara that's like, again, from like China, and has so much chemicals in it, and also from a company that tests on animals really, like, in a really bad way, our subconscious knows that. We cannot fool our subconscious. We cannot fool our souls. And so we're going to be applying that mascara, and it's just going to feel icky. And then we're going to have ickiness in our field. And we're like, oh, I just tried to feel beautiful, but now I'm carrying ickiness because your subconscious knows. Okay. So I think you guys are already on this kind of wavelength. You're excited about some of this natural stuff. So, okay. So I've been talking a lot about the moon goddess initiation. If you haven't heard of it, hopefully you have, and we can talk about that later throughout the week. It's basically a 6-month deep dive into our divine feminine energy, and we do coaching and lots of stuff. But as a part of it, we have 2 goddess boxes that are coming out that I've made myself, with like earth-friendly beauty and just luxurious treatments and things like this. So I'm going to share some of this with you. Okay, and I'm going to share what I use personally. Okay, so my eyeliner, and actually I think I'm going to create a makeup tutorial, an earth-friendly makeup tutorial this week since it's October Mermaid Moon. It's so fun. Okay, welcome to Beth's Beauty Shop. My eyeliner, Palo Santo angle brush. I don't know if you, like, some of you might be like, I'm really not into eyeliner, I don't care. But personally, sometimes I like a little bit of smokiness. A lot of the time I won't wear makeup. I think that's really important, a really balance. Like, if you can feel beautiful without makeup, then you know that you're on the right track, right? We don't need makeup to help us feel beautiful, but sometimes it's really nice to just like play, and like it's like the little girl in us, like we want to adorn ourselves and we want to create that smoky eye a little more like exotic, or we want to create that like sparkles, and I love sparkles, right? But it's also really important for me, you know, I go out sometimes and I go out without makeup, and remember when I said I had really issues with acne, and I go out without makeup now, and I'm like, wow, like the girl, you know, 7 years ago would have never been comfortable at all with going out without makeup at all. And I just go out and I feel so excited about that. So it's also really important for us to have that energy. So if you're using makeup to cover up stuff and because you feel uncomfortable, maybe your journey will actually be to be wearing less makeup or no makeup and feel the discomfort in that and transmute that. But, you know, maybe if you're that girl that is like, I don't wear makeup ever, you know, and I don't need to, you're right. But maybe it'll be a fun journey for you to like play around and see. So it depends like what you need and where you're at for sure. But if you feel good about makeup, let's get into this. So here's my eyeliner. We got some angle brush, and I'm just using the ash. What I do, I'm going to use the camera, and I just go like that. So that's a little trick, an earth-friendly beauty trick. And like Palo Santo is energy clearing. So basically I'm like, ooh, like my eyes are going to be energy clearing vessels. So that's my eyeliner. What I use for mascara is, you can check this out. It's 100% pure. Let that focus. Are you going to focus for me? Focus. All right, I don't know if it wants to focus. This is my mascara. 100% pure. This is awesome. This is a great brand. This came to me from California, and it's basically like pigmented with a lot of like fruits, and like I think there's like cacao in here and blackberry and things like that. I love that. For my eyeshadow, so you're gonna get this if you do sign up for a Moon Goddess initiation or a 6-month deep dive into divine feminine energy. You're gonna get some eyeshadow that I've created from earth-friendly products. And so I've actually used this. I call this the Greek Goddess eyeshadow, and it's like basically mica. Pretty much just mica, which is a ground up crystal. And I use that as an eyeshadow and a cheek highlighter. I'm like so girly. I love makeup and I love sparkles. So like if you're not into this, just bear with me. But if you are, awesome. What else do I got in here? I've got my my Golden Cosmos lip gloss, which is also a part of the Moon Goddess packages. Cute Witch says, I'm awful at applying eyeliner to top lid. You know what? Like with Palo Santo, you know, like it's hard. You know, liquid eyeliners are difficult. I would agree with you. Back in the day, I used to use them. I haven't really found like an earth-friendly one yet that's been right in front of me that I've got. But Palo Santo is really easy. It just smudges. It's just like really smudgy. It's really smoky. You'll be able to get it, no problem. And here is something that I usually haven't been wearing lip gloss, but I actually made my own. And again, this is a part of the first Goddess box and the Moon Goddess initiation. So it's just like this awesome. And this is like made with organic sunflower oil, essential oil. It's like a little bit of mica for the shimmer. So this is what I'll use, you know, for me. I just wanted to bring this forth for you. Like you might use whatever like feels right to you. But just to remember like that it is important to use earth-friendly products when we're doing, and this is including our shampoo, this is including our face moisturizer, right? Because not only is it our duty as light workers to serve this planet in ways that other people are not, so we definitely have to amp it up and honor the earth and honor our animals, brothers and sisters, but also because our subconscious knows where that icky stuff is coming from. So if we apply that stuff, we're gonna feel icky I would honestly sometimes, like, I have used like my friend's makeup or something, like maybe we're going out and I'm at her house and I just use some of her makeup. And I feel like, and if it's like drugstore makeup, like I'll feel it. I'll feel kind of gross. Like I'll be like, no, I need to get this off. I'd feel way better without makeup because it's just not of my resonance. It's not in alignment with my resonance. Therefore, I cut off my sense of alignment and I cut off my sense of beauty, right? So this is just kind of like a little, I don't wonder if I have anything else here. And I did actually make, like, in terms of foundation, I've actually made my own for the first time. I usually, you can just go out there and if you want, maybe I'll put some of my favorite beauty brands in the Sisterhood of the Mermaid Moon thread this week. So for a long time, I've just been getting, if I was wearing foundation, I was just getting some nice natural stuff. But I've started to make my own, and it's just like, I'm playing around with the recipes, but it's just like this powder that is basically just that mineral powder. There's like cacao in here, there's turmeric in here, there's spirulina in here, there's clay. So that's really cool. And I'll probably maybe be starting to sell some of this later, that like in terms of face powder, but right now it's just eyeshadow, lip gloss, and yeah, a couple other things. And just as a heads up too, this beautiful necklace, this moon pendant necklace, is also available in the, why do I always get this wrong? The Goddess boxes is a part of Moon Goddess Initiation. So if you're wanting to learn more about Moon Goddess Initiation, it's a 6-month deep dive. We do 6 months of private coaching. It's way more focused around honoring your soul's expression and getting your gifts out into the world, but it's very much also associated with uncovering your sexuality and releasing old shame so you can feel beautiful and be in your attracting power. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go to bethkatherine.com/moongoddess. Just let's read the comments before we get into a short meditation here, because we're like, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're just having a little chit chat about eyeliner in the comment thread. Just seeing if anything. Okay, yeah, they're just having a little chit chat about the makeup they use. Love it. Okay, so I just want you to close your eyes with me now. So what we're doing, so at the core and at the foundation of our discussion around beauty, is we are allowing the energy, source energy. We are allowing life force and inspiration through us. That is the foundation of all beauty. You could forget about everything else. You could, not really care about what you wear as long as, where you're getting it is from is in alignment. You could blah, 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 blah. Like, none of the external stuff would matter as long as you were in alignment, right, with whatever you chose. Because at the end of the day, the vibration and where the essence of beauty comes from is life force energy. And just sending, we're going to send some of that life force energy through our systems now. So again, close your eyes if they're not already closed already. And start to breathe in and out, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allowing a beautiful pink light to enter your nose. And this is the light of Archangel Jophiel. And it's also the light of unconditional love. Allow pink light to enter through your nose and out through your mouth. Allowing this pink light to deepen in. And we call upon, again, the energy of Archangel Jophiel to be with us in this meditation, helping us to release and transmute any and all shame so that we can vibrate more strongly with our truth. On the next inhale, I want you to breathe right into your womb space. And if it helps, you can actually take a hand to your womb space and really breathe into the lower back, breathe into the womb space, the reproductive organs. And just start to take some really deep breaths in that area. Bringing in that pink light. Maybe it's a bit of yellow streaming in through there, which Jophiel is giving me the color of. Maybe some green or some blue is coming in there. Whatever colors feel resonant to you as you breathe in. And just make sure that you're really allowing your womb space and your belly to extend on the inhale and release on the exhale. Bringing in more breath. And it actually might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, like breathing so powerfully in your womb and in your deeper belly might challenge you, which is a good thing right now. All right. Now I want you to feel around and just to feel into where you have stuck areas of tension or where you have sticky spots in that womb space field, where you're feeling a little bit icky, where you're feeling not in alignment, where you're feeling like, oh, that's got to go. And just breathe into that energy. allowing your breath to connect with it and allowing your breath to like align that energy with the flow now. So we just want to say a lovely hello to any and all of this tension, any and all areas of our energy right now that don't feel so great, that feel like, oh, I'd rather not have that. We're going to breathe into that and release that on the exhale. Breathing in that pink light again, or whatever color is coming up. And releasing it on the exhale. Anywhere where you don't feel beautiful, anywhere where you're carrying shame, breathe into it, confront it directly. And with love and with appreciation and gratitude, release it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your journey. I'm willing to release you now. And we're just asking Spirit to transmute that energy and clear it across all time, dimension, space, reality. Anything and everything that is blocking us from feeling truly beautiful, Spirit, please clear, release, delete, and transmute across all time, dimension, space, reality. And feeling into that space and just getting real with yourself and just taking note where you have the tension and allowing yourself to release it. Allow yourself to release it deeper and feeling that some of you are attached to carrying that pain. That you feel like you deserve to have that shame or that denial of your truth keeps you safe. It doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you stuck and feeling ugly. So breathe into that. And on the exhale, release and have fun. You were meant to feel happy and connected and joyous. And yes, it's definitely a process, but that is the base of reality. That is the flow. That is the vortex. That is our go-to as souls. We come from a place of total beauty and unconditional love. So just allow everything that is not that to be released on the breath and go back home. Asking now our higher selves and our guides to please implant the energy of beauty and self-love into everybody's field that is watching now or on replay, and guiding each and every one of us to exactly what we need in order to unlock the frequencies of beauty within, giving each and every one of us exactly what we need: tools, more guidance, deeper meditation, courage to speak up, whatever we need in order to release shame and allow true beauty to come and pour through us. So let's just pray for any and all shame that is resonant in anyone's systems that we are meditating with to now be transmuted and cleared across all time, dimension, space, reality. Let it go. You don't need it anymore. It is not keeping you safe. It is not keeping you grounded. Release it and allow love to pour through. I want everyone to feel into how beautiful and magnificent you are right now. Feel into how much life force and love is your truth. Feel into, I don't care what they said about you, what you said about you. I don't care what you did. I don't care if you murdered someone or raped someone. You are still worthy of love. You are still completely loved in the divine's eyes. There is nothing that you could do that would prevent true beauty from being at the source of your being. There is nothing that you can do that would prevent spirit from loving you completely. And anything that you feel like you need to hide from other people because it is not worthy, are you willing to release that to spirit now? If you are, say yes, aloud or mentally, and allow spirit to help and to guide you. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us the courage to make the decisions that are going to serve our sense of beauty and the sense of beauty in the world. Thank you for giving us the courage to release any ways that we're eating factory farmed meat. Thank you for giving us the courage to release any ways that we're consuming chemicals or pesticides or putting chemicals or pesticides onto our bodies. Thank you for giving us the courage to get real about that and to release that without shame and with the energy of inspiration to guide us. Because how good does it feel to be in alignment with our truth and with our true energy of being earth stewards and earth children and goddesses. And in any way, Spirit, that you can guide us to remember that we are goddesses incarnate, that we are literally physical manifestations of the goddess, and that we are truly beautiful in every sense of the word on every time, dimension, space, reality. Please guide us to have this understanding and experience now. And just ask, you can mentally ask, if you want extra support, you can ask right now, Archangel Jophiel, thank you for keeping me aligned with beauty. Thank you for keeping my thoughts beautiful. Thank you for guiding me to whatever I need to do in order to feel truly beautiful from the inside. Thank you for guiding me to feel the resonance of attraction and love and magnetism, because that is my birthright. Thank you, Archangel Jophiel, for being a part of my life now. Please guide me. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Woohoo! Who knew I could get so fierce about beauty? I feel like I've been more fierce this time than I have the other 2 times in those goddess initiation. Okay, so there we are. I'm gonna leave that, kind of, now leave that here, whatever, for this ceremony. So grateful that you've joined us. Hopefully we, sparked, I know we did, just based on prayer and meditation, we definitely sparked some change, some transformation. And I just want, again, to reiterate that point that we connected with in meditation, that you can do the worst thing that your soul has ever done in your incarnations, like, the worst thing that you could have ever done. It doesn't matter. You are worthy. You have full permission from the divine to release that shame. I don't care if you've raped someone, if you've murdered someone. I probably have murdered someone in my past lives. I feel like I've been a soldier. I feel like I've killed. I feel like I could have raped someone, maybe, because I feel that energy sometimes come up within me. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just connecting with the collective. But does that make me any less worthy of love? No. No, it doesn't. Right? And maybe I haven't. I don't know. But someone else says, and they're just as worthy of love as I am. So let's just forgive ourselves for the deepest shame that we are carrying and release that to spirit, because that's going to align us with the flow of beauty. And that's going to change our whole lives up. And this is a work in progress, but you are so worthy of love and beautiful. And Maddie says, love the fierceness, lay it on the table. Awesome. So before I let you go, well, you can go at any time, really. But before we go, we're just going to pull one. We've pulled animal cards the last 2 times for this goddess initiation. So we're going to do it again. And again, so this is our last live ceremony, and our last live ceremony for the goddess initiation. You will be receiving a guided meditation via email this week to ground in the energy that we currently experience. And I'm getting a message from Michael who says, there's lots of you who haven't practiced the couple of guided meditations that I have sent out about purpose and about attracting relationships. And Michael is saying, go ahead and go do them, because they're going to really be good for you. Okay, so this is the energy that this animal wants to be here with us today. And as we go about and as we attract more beauty into our lives and feel beautiful and allow ourselves to be self-expressed and powerful women and own our sexuality, this animal wants to help us. Which one? Yay, hummingbird! I just saw hummingbird yesterday. Lighten up, joy. This is so perfect for right now. You're worthy of joy. You don't have to sit in your shame and be like, no, I have to heal 20 years of wounding before I'm happy and feel beautiful. No, you don't. You just need to switch into the truth of who you are and let that shit go. And this is a lesson that I'm learning too. I've been one of those people that's like, no, I just need to breathe into my pain for like 2 hours before I let myself feel happy, because that's the way I'm feeling. No, it's not. I'm learning. Joy, lean into joy, have fun, lighten up. Yeah, Maddie says, all right, I will, Michael. I know, meditation time. But the meditations I've made for you are really fun. They're not like, breathe in, breathe out, focus on your breath. They're like, go into this temple and connect with this goddess and get this gift, or like call your soul family in and feel how awesome they are. They're really fun. Okay, and there's going to be another one coming to you. So much love, many blessings. I've had such a great time with you for our Moon Goddess for our Goddess Initiation, and we have our deeper dive with Moon Goddess Initiation. If you wanted to check that out, I'll be in communication about that over the next week or so. If you were interested in Moon Goddess Initiation, this is the 6-month deep dive, private coaching, total life transformation, and helping you express your deepest soul gifts so you can be of service to this planet like you came here to be. And really with the infusion of goddess energy, and there's so many goodies in that program. You can check it out at bethkatherine.com/moon goddess. The bonus, so one of the bonus gifts is that you get a $33 discount every moon on the program. So the regular price is $177 per month, but until January 16th, if you sign up before midnight on January 16th, you're going to be receiving a discount. It'll be $144 US for 7 months for that program, which is an incredible offering, I must say myself, based on some of the prices that I've seen out there. And this program will come about again, maybe with a new name, but it will be more expensive. It will definitely be much more expensive. Well, not much more expensive, but there will be a higher investment point, because I'm realizing that, when we put our investment in, we really put our commitment in and our energy in, and that's really important to me. So get on it if you want to join us. You can book a 30-minute call with me to just see what coaching would be like and to see if it would be right for you. There's no pressure in that call at all. Genuinely interested in what's best for your soul. Or you can, if you're like stoked, you can go to the website, bethkatherine.com/moongoddess and book right away. Okay, I love in the comments. Blue whale, we got hearts, great ceremony. Dora says, thank you. 144 per month, 144 per month for 7 months for the 6-month program, Amanda. And there's lots of goodies in there. You get a follow-up session I feature on my website, 2 goddess boxes, 3 guided meditations every month, working with a new goddess every month. It's so juicy. So yeah, I'll leave that with you ladies, and have fun with this. Have fun with loving yourself and awakening to your true beauty, because the truth is you're so beautiful. You don't have to try to be anything to be beautiful. Your truth is beauty. So we talked in the ceremony about how to unblock that so your truth can come out and through. And make sure that when you go about and you're feeling that beauty, that you witness it in your sisters too. That when you go out and you see a beautiful woman, do yourself a favor and celebrate her. Celebrate how beautiful she is and realize that she is a mirror of you, and you're just picking up on the resonance of beauty that lives within you and lives within us all. So much love. This is a work in progress. Ooh, I'm so fuzzy now. Ooh, come back to me, great. But we're doing great, and I'm so happy that you've joined us. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that we're together on this journey, and we're going to continue to connect on the Sister of the Mermaid Moon private Facebook group over the week and over the months and probably over the years. Kara says, so many meditations. Yes, meditation, the key to life from my lensing. Okay, much love and see you soon.